Just a quick word before we begin. I had technical issues when recording this video. I left my microphone at home when I was recording this outside. I did the best I could with what I had available to me, but in the end, I had to re-record the audio. So with that out the way, let's start the video. Hey everybody, and welcome back. Today, we are going to be talking about misconceptions, pet peeves, and myths about disability. I have a list here that will be going off. Without further ado, let's get started. The first one we're going to start off with is if you are in a wheelchair that you cannot walk at all. This is wrong. For example, I can walk short distances, but for the rest of the time, I need my wheelchair to get around. Number 2, we need help 24/7. This varies depending on the severity of the disability itself, but not everybody needs care 24/7. But on the flip side to this doesn't mean that we don't need help at all, because we still do. Number 3, we do not want employment. Well, this is false on so many levels. We do wish to work. For example, a couple years ago, I had a job offer, but due to certain circumstances out of my control, I had to turn it down. Our next point is that a disability is a bad thing. Well, I guess it's depending on how you see it. It may not be a walk in the park, but I personally don't see it as a bad thing. I mean, if we're talking about disability in media, then yes, it is perceived as a bad thing. But it's also dependent on how you see it yourself. When people think about disability, it's usually the negative that comes up first. But there are some positives to go along with it too. A random example of this is if you're in a wheelchair, you come with your own seat. I mean, yeah, you might need to get someone to move a chair out the way for you, but in the end, it's a small inconvenience. We want to be cured. This is a touchy one, so I'm not going to linger too much on it. For example, there is no cure for a brain injury, especially one that you've had all your life. There are ways to reduce the outcome of it, but for this example, it's something I'm going to have for the rest of my life. It's not going to get any worse. It's not going to get any better. Next, we are our disability. No, we are not. Our disability is a part of us, but it's not all of us. I am not my disability. I mean, I do have my limitations, but at the end of the day, that is just a small part of who I am. For example, I love anime. I mean, look at me. I'm wearing my Sailor Moon shirt right now. I love to cook. I love to swim. I love to read. I love to go exploring the environment. But there are so many things that define who I am. So no, I am not my disability. But it is a pain in the backside sometimes. Next, we have a pet peeve. Say you're out to lunch with a friend and someone comes up to you and goes, "Oh, so what's wrong with her?" You can ask me yourself and not the person I am with, but please do it in a respectful manner. This has happened so many times over the last 34 years, and it doesn't matter if I'm with my mum, my sister, or a support worker. You can just ask me directly. You don't have to ask who I'm with. I can communicate with you perfectly fine. So yeah, if you ever have a question, just ask me directly and not the person sitting next to me. Now we are at our last point. Everyone with a disability is asexual. Again, no. Disability and sexuality isn't actually something that's talked about widely. And no, I am not asexual myself. So, what is asexuality? Asexuality refers to someone who has little to zero sexual attraction to other people. and there is nothing wrong with that. So don't assume one way or the other. And now we have come to the end of the video. I hope you have learnt something new with these misconceptions, myths, and pet peeves. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.